Hey folks, welcome to InfoPro 1070 Digital Presentation 1. This is the how-to instructional video for Project 1, starting on page PPT 1. So, first step is opening up Microsoft PowerPoint, and there it is right there after clicking the Start button. Letting it load here. The book wants us to, as per page PPT 4, we are looking for the layout called Berlin theme, so it happens to be right there on my screen. And then we're going to click the green version, and we're going to click Create. It's going to pop up on the screen there, and that brings us to the end of PPT 5. It's just kind of telling you what these different things are. So this is a placeholder, this is a subtitle placeholder, this is your overall slide, so on and so forth. We are typing in the title, Autumn Family Programs, and then we're going to click the subtitle, and you'll notice that it disappears right away wherever you're in to show you where you're writing. And then we're going to type in Tall Oaks Nature Center. So Tall Oaks Nature Center. Down here, bottom right, you can zoom in and you can zoom out on your slides. However you kind of feel that it should look. Personally, I like at the 100%, but if you like it, zoomed in further or closer, it's totally up to you. We are now going to select the paragraph of the Tall Oak Center. So we're going to left click and drag, and if you just kind of hover your mouse over it and then right click, you'll see this option pops up. Or if you hover, we want to select italicized, so we want to kind of angle it, and that is, we would also like to click the font size button to 36. We're then going to click just Autumn. So now we're on page PPT 11, and we are going to change the color, do it up here, to orange. Standard colors there. And that's all we need to do for our first slide. As for the textbook, that takes us to the end of page PPT 12. Starting on page 13, we need to add a new slide. So we're going to click New Slide here. And the slide layout should be just like it shows on the screen. We can scroll up and down the slides, all the slides, or we can just do with our mouse wheel ball. We are doing Morning Bird Walks as the title. And we are going to click the subtitle, and we're going to type in enjoy a hike on natural surface trails. And then we're going to do a sub indent. So we're going to hit enter and then push tab, and it is approximately 1.5 miles. Then we're going to hit enter again, and we're going to use this this decreased list level. So we go back to the main bullet, and we're going to type in 9 a.m. every Saturday, and then enter, and then again tab, bring binoculars and a field guide, and then tab again to go over right to further indent. Extra supplies will be available. Notice we're not putting periods anywhere. We're just typing in what we need to have happen here. We are now selecting, as per the bottom of page 17, we're going to select the words every Saturday, and we are going to bold and increase the font to size 28. So we're going to push the B, and we're going to increase the font size once to 28. So it's a little bit bigger and emphasized. So it's in bold. That takes us to the end of page 19. We're now going to insert another new page, but this time we're going to use the new slide feature so that all the options pop up. And the textbook wants us to open up a comparison slide. Notice your options are different. So in slide 3 should be comparison, and we are now typing in the title. On page 21, it says afternoon insect identification. And you can read here that it says grasshoppers, also known as locusts. Notice I spelt that wrong. If you right click it, it'll correct it for you, just like Microsoft Word, just like Microsoft Publisher. We go on the other side, we say it's, sorry, dragonflies is actually all one word. We're going to hit enter, and then often mistaken for damselflies. So we've now typed in what we need to type in on slide 3 for page 21. Then we're going to do another new slide, but this time we're going to do title only. So title only for slide 4, and the title is Twilight Firefly Hikes. Twilight Firefly Hikes. So that takes us to the end of page 23. And now all of a sudden on page 23, the textbook's asking us to change the design of the slides. So we're going to click the design button here at the top, and we're going to go to find the option called variant. So we're going to click this down arrow so that everything pops up, and we're going to kind of wait for it to load here on my screen. And I happen to recognize that variant's right here. That's what it looks like on the screen. So we're going to click that, and it automatically is going to change all the slides. And we're also going to click the desired, looks like it's the green variant. So it happens to be the third version here. You notice everything changes automatically. So all of your font sizes, all of your color schemes, everything is going to change to the new design theme that you picked. And that's what we're working on page 25 here. On page 25, it does say that it should be a breakpoint, so I'm going to save it to demonstrate that. Save as. Now again, I'm going to save it where I'm saving my information, so that's on the S drive. I do recommend that you folks get used to saving this stuff on your OneDrive, because that is the most logical and accessible place for you to access your files. Example lessons is what I'm calling it, and I'm going to call this 70 Project 1 by Josh. Give that a save. It'll take a moment to save because I'm going on to what we call an S drive. There we go. We're back. We're saved. Let's keep going from page 25. We're on the Twilight Hikes. We're on slide 4. What we need to do now is select slide 1. You end up seeing that orange border show up. So that's how you know what slide you're working on. And that's what we wanted to do on page 27. And now that we're back on the first slide, we need to actually start to access the files, the pictures, if you will, that are actually going into the presentation. So what that means is, just like in Microsoft Word and just like in the Publisher class, all required images are in Moodle. So the textbook's telling you to do it a different way. I'm telling you that it's all in Moodle. So here's our Moodle screen on the video here. You're going to scroll down. You're going to click week 1, chapter 1, because this is where the week 1 files are. You're going to continue to scroll down. Chapter 1 PowerPoint files. And you're going to click the project. And you want to download all 5 images. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll notice they've all popped up there at the bottom of the screen. Now, what you're going to do now is look at the first image, well, it looks like we need the autumn leaves. So the leaves, left click, hold, drag. You can see the image is different on the screen. Hover over the PowerPoint, and then see how it's a plus sign there. Hopefully you can see it, and you let go, and there are the autumn leaves on the screen. Then it wants us to do slide 2's picture is an owl. So let's go back to our Google and pick the owl picture again. Left click, hold it. There we go. Just gonna like leave it on the picture. Then we need a twilight firefly bug, the grasshopper, and the dragonfly. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the grasshopper. Should be over here. Perfect. And then we're going to have the dragonfly, which is the D-fly, over here. Now I'm actually clicking and dragging them right into the box where they're going to go, and they're automatically going to be the size of the box. So that is how it's being resized here. Finally, the twilight firefly bug, well, that is the bug. Didn't really know how else to call it, so I just called it bug. And there we go. Now what we can do here is we can kind of move this over a bit. That looks about right. Resizing the photos and the illustration. So let's go back to the first slide. Well, the first image wants us to be like roughly here, kind of more or less. And I'll come back to this in a moment. But really what they want you to do is click the picture, and then see the corner. You can click, it's called keeping the aspect ratio so it doesn't get distorted. For example, if you click a corner, it grows and shrinks appropriately. Okay? If I were to click this one, it starts to get all distorted. Or for example, if I do this one, it gets stretched. It doesn't look the same. I'm going to reset the picture. Oops, I meant to reset the picture, not the... There we go. Then we're going to look at the owl, and the owl is supposed to be resized so that it is the size of the document. Just going to make it a little bit bigger. Perfect. Perfect. Now the firefly bug, it's supposed to be kind of in the middle. You see that line come up? And there we go. So it's right in the middle there. We are looking at the owl again, but now the owl wants to be lined up with the top of the words. There we go. And the autumn picture, this guy right here, is going to be lined up with this bottom part here. Perfect. It's going to be a little bit bigger actually, now that I notice this. So we're just looking roughly kind of like that. And we're also going to rotate it so that it is roughly straight. And now we're going to take this first slide and we're going to duplicate it. So we're going to right click, we're going to click duplicate, and we're going to drag it to the end. So left click and drag it down. So now you have slide 1 and slide 5 are identical. That brings us to the end of page 38. It's asking us to save again. Saved it. We're on page 40. We're going to delete text in a placeholder. So we're going to get rid of autumn. Okay, folks. And we're going to replace it with register for, and we're going to actually make it green as well. So we just have to highlight that and nope, not that green, that green. There we go. And instead of it saying the Tall Oaks Nature Center, well, we want to delete that. We actually want the phone number. So call 816-555-8928 and then today. So that takes us to the end of page 41. Now we're going to do something called the transition. So it kind of gives effects to the slides. So here is a transition. And the transition we want to do is wind. So wind is likely going to need us to do the drop down. And then there should be a wind around here. Ah, there it is, wind. And you're going to see how that kind of popped up on the screen. And we also want to set it to 2 seconds, which is perfect. And we want it to do apply to all. And then we actually want to set it to 3 seconds as per page 43. And we want that applied to all of the slides. So I'm going to hit that apply all again. And we now have the presentation complete up to page 44. And that is actually it for the presentation. What you're going to be submitting to me is the PowerPoint file so that I can check it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you while talking what the presentation should look like. So when you're at this stage and you're done, you should be able to push F5, folks, and you should see it like this. It's going to look a little different because I have the there we go. This is what yours should look like. So let's restart this. Let's go to the next slide. Notice how it takes about 3 seconds for the slides to change, and it's blowing away to the next slide. The slides are advancing as I click the mouse button, and then we get back to the last slide. And there we go. So that takes us to the end of Project 1 for INF 1070. Again, if you need any help, please make contact. Thanks, bye.